Okay, so today is going to be a comparison between my Bissell powergroom model 92L3-1. Whoa! Oh, and if you're wondering why I have this blanket back there, it helps the camera focus nicer. But yeah. Then we have this Eureka Lightspeed, and this one is from 313th day of 2011. Where is, oh, it's a little bit hidden, and it looks like it's kind of blown off. But I believe this is a 2010 model. Either way, they're pretty similar in age. This is a model 4700 type D-1. Now they're both 12 amps, 60 hertz, or whatever. Volts, they're both 120 volt, and yeah. So let's get to comparing. Starting out with the brush holes. You can see brush holes. This one definitely has a wider brush roll path. If you put them up against each other. There's a decent bit there. Oh yeah, I don't even think the hose is hooked up on this. Sorry. Yeah, water cleaning path, this is a 15-inch. I believe this is a 12 or 13. If you tip them back, obviously the powergroom has the window. This one has a belt view. Unfortunately, this whole belt is black, so you can't really see if it's moving or not. But yeah, so I believe the Lightspeed is slightly older, but not by much. But yeah, and then underneath, and I'm only doing this video because this is kind of what the companies were selling at the time. This is when Eureka was kind of on their way out, right around this time. This is when Bissell was still making decent quality machines. But yeah. So underneath, obviously, you got a lot of useless bristles over here because, well, they're just useless. I mean, it's not like, I mean, I guess there is, actually, you know, there might be, suction can definitely travel through this little channel there. This one, there's really not much, I mean, I guess a little bit, but yeah. Okay. Most Eurekas did have longer bristles like this, not necessarily horribly stiff. And Bissells normally had medium stiff, short bristles. This has the helix style brush roll. You know, it's like a weird shape, and it's spirally. God, this thing still spins really smooth. This has green bristles to match, well, the green. This one had, I replaced the brush on this one, but the original brush would have been the same. Yellow bristles, because I had the option between white and yellow bristles, but I got yellow, as well. It's a yellow vacuum. But yeah. So more narrow, and what else? Sorry, they're just really good at, like, you know, This one actually has like some kinds of like ways to channel the suction, not really, but a little bit. This one's more towards the middle, so it's gonna probably perform a little better, but you should still overlap. Same with this one, you're gonna have to overlap even more because you can tell it's very shoved. Obviously the edge cleaning is gonna be very good here. Oh, look at that, I chipped a little thing. Oh, there's a little chip here too, or is that supposed to be there? It doesn't really look like it. This is also broken. One difference is on this, the yellow piece comes off to replace the belt. On this one, you take the bottom off. Like that, and it just lifts off. Luckily, the latches are actually decent. Some of these at the time actually had screws too, but they did that with the model powergroom right before this one, and they learned their lesson because I think a lot of people complained about that because it is kind of dumb. Obviously this one is a beautiful blue color. This one is an ugly yellow. This one has a green knob to match the green and blue color scheme. Spins very nicely because it lifts up off the ground so that you can adjust it easier, and then whatever adjustment you put it on, it will actually adjust to. You can see it stays on the same height when it's in the upright position. Like, that's on the lowest setting. Highest, lowest. But yeah. Has dual edge cleaning apparently, though I don't really agree with that because there's actually probably more of a gap there between the brush roll and the outer side than on this. This was probably like maybe a $100 machine. This was like maybe a $50, $60 machine. So, but yeah, this one's got a nice quality rubber bumper, dirt behind it. This one doesn't even have a bumper at all. So not only is your vacuum gonna get all scratched up and probably crack, but it's also gonna scratch your furniture. Let's see. This one says just 12 amps max power. This one says 12 amps max power. This one shows the model of the vacuum, the Lightspeed, and this one shows the brand, Bissell. And this one shows the powergroom and Bissell up there, and shows 2 times multi-cyclonic action for superior suction. This one says the Eureka. I really like how they used to do the Eureka. Now it's just literally Eureka with no other detail. But yeah, this one has a filter here, foam filter that you wash probably once a week. This one does have a headlight, this one does not. This has the Maxima motor housing, because this is one of the earlier Lightspeeds that came pretty much right after the Maximas were discontinued, and they still had a bunch of these motor housings, so they used them up. And yeah, and I'm sure they used the knobs and belt views, and you know, not this plate. They had to mold this plate if they wanted to use up these housings. This is silicone adhesive because there is some screws missing that were rusted, and it's COVID and I can't go out to get screws, so I use silicone adhesive, plus it seals up the motor so no dust comes out of there. So yeah, no headlight, but this is where the headlight would have been on a Maxima. Yeah, you have a filter here. This one, God, that is really loose. I never really thought how loose that is. This one has a HEPA filter. Normally you would just push down in there. Mine broke, that latch broke, and so I just put a screw through here. It goes right back into here. I did watch out for the wires, don't worry. And I just put this here that kind of has some distribution, so it didn't just go right through the plastic. But yeah, so this one does not have a HEPA filter, though this thing still blows dust, and that HEPA filter has to be blown out constantly. This one, I've never had any dust come out of here, so this one filters must do pretty good at keeping the air clean. Here, with this one to take the bin out, you guys saw how I just did that. You just, you know, lift up on here. Very easy. Take the bin out on this one. Do that. Then it comes out. Wash this every once in a while. Whenever you wash your filters, you might as well wash the bin. It kind of sanitizes everything. With this, wash this with warm water. For the foam filter, just use some dish soap because water's not really going to take all the dirt out. But that's the only filter protecting the motor on this one, and then you got your exhaust. And that foam lets a lot of dust through. So, I honestly, if you have one of these, I recommend that you put something underneath this foam filter. I personally cut up a piece of rag, put right under there. That's how you unlock that, and then you twist and unlock. That's how you do that. I don't know what this, I was Sharpieing this for some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, this is washable. To clean filter, remove lid, grasp filter frame, twist counterclockwise, shake off dust, lint and hair into trash container, rinse off using warm water if necessary. Only DCF-4. Which the Maxima takes the same filter, I believe. You can see, I call mine an ugly yellow because it is now. It's more of an orange. That's what it's supposed to be, but it's faded. I'm sitting outside before my grandpa got it, and then he gave it to me. This has a stained yellow bin. It's just got the clear bin. I prefer the lightpeed actually, because I would much rather have to wash the filter more often. Because, well, this one you'd probably have to wash more often because this one doesn't really hold its suction as well somehow. This one, Cyclone barely does anything, and that filter still gets more dirty than this one does somehow. Like, I mean, this is where the dirt comes in, and this filter still stays clean longer than this one does. And that's kind of sad that they managed to make such a horrible Cyclone design. Not really sure how they managed that. And Eureka just, like, let's just shove the filter right inside the bin. And it worked. But yeah, like, and this filter is much better quality. Does not let any shit through into the motor, really. You can see no dust in there. This one's always got dust everywhere. You can actually, I used it as the vacuum of the week once, and by the time we were done, I cleaned out this headlight lens. There was actually like dust and dirt in that motor lens, and that's annoying and gross. This one, I've taken out this little plate there, nothing, and I've never seen literal dirt and shit spray out of there. But yeah. Whatever that is, I think the original owners used something on it that caused that, because it's not something I did and it won't come off. Same with the front here, they did something. Used bleach on it or something. So, yeah, I much prefer this bin design. It's a little less messy. You just pull it out and to empty it. Just press this. The seal's actually tight enough to the point where you kind of got to help it out a little bit. You can actually take off all these seals. They do peel up. And then this seal pops out. This seal will come out if you take this gray piece out. I like being able to clean all my seals and underneath them. What else? This would have came with a turbo brush that will go right there, and a Bissell combo tool and dusting brush, which were horrible. And it came with a crevice tool and extension wand. This is probably not the ones it would come with. I'm pretty sure it would come with a gray crevice tool and probably the same extension wand. This one comes with a better crevice tool, a way longer crevice tool anyways. I think it might be a longer extension wand. No, extension wand is a little longer, not really though. Crevice tool, way longer, but I like the Bissell one more because the crevice tool portion is actually, you know, way thinner. You know, it's a crevice tool because it's meant to go in crevices. You know, what good does this do if you can't even reach down into the spot before it's starting to, you know, already go back to a normal extension wand? So, but it is nice and long. But that's just meaning that you have that much of a gap and you're reaching down to your corners behind a couch or something, but that's called assuming. Come on, Eureka. I do like this design more where it slides through and hooks down there. This one, I mean, you can slide it if you would like, but technically they want you to do that, and you can see it's very loose now. Also, clearly Bissell didn't make this very well because, well, this machine's older, and this already broke. I have a screw slightly threaded in there just to hold the crevice tool and extension wand on. Those are the tools I use most often, that's why I haven't bothered buying any of these. This I got from the same person I got this vacuum from. This is not what it would have came with. It would have came with the same thing, but with just the bristles. But this is still better than what this would have came with. Even though this would have had the combo tool and dusting brush, the dusting brush was useless, and it was more of just another combo tool. So it was basically only a combo tool because the brush was so stiff. This is also kind of an upholstery tool and dusting brush because it's got these little fins on here that kind of agitate the, whatever your upholstery is. But yeah. You can see mine works pretty well on pet hair, actually. Obviously you got your hose. See-through, but stained yellow. Honestly, I really don't know how much I like this stained yellow. This one, if you start developing a smell, you can take all these screws out here and this pops off. This one, if you start developing a smell under your cord, under your, you don't really have to undo your hose. And behind, and you have to take off this piece. There's a screw right back here. Take that off. There's a screw behind this that you can lift this whole upper half from here and off, and just lift it all off, and then you can get to where some smell can sometimes build up. Otherwise, most of your smell is going to come from the tube and the filter with this one. This one, your dust actually runs through behind that and into your filter down there. So, and then this, I don't really know what this is. I thought it might be like a thing that makes it so it runs, but I've tried it. It doesn't really seem to do anything. It's like a mold for something. I don't know. I mean, what could have been there? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is right behind when they came out with the Bissell powergroom helix and clean view helixes. When they came out with clean view helix, this was like right before that. But yeah. So I guess I could run both of these. We'll do the light speed first. This likes to pop out. This also has a better stretch hose. This also has a longer cord. This one only has like a 25-foot cord, I believe. This one's got a 35-foot cord, which is miles better. This one wraps up on there in the worst way possible. It falls off when you're just rolling your vacuum around. This one does sound a little nicer. this thing might spin a little. I don't know. It almost seemed like it was literally just kicking up the dust instead of sucking it up. I don't know. Thing is, this one does feel a little better built. No flex in the handle. This one actually has quite a bit of flex in the handle, and it sucks. But you just, you know, gentle with it. You know, it's also a bulkier machine, a little heavier, even though they're technically both full-size machines. They call this a mid-size machine, but it is a full-size. At least that's what they're listed as when they were new. Ouch. But yeah. This one also, I think, has a little bit more water lift, you know, suction. I think they're both about the same in airflow. They both lose airflow fairly fast. They both hold suction fine, but they lose their airflow pretty quick because of the fact that they both have horrible filtration systems and their filters get blocked up. Suction is a little bit easier to hold on to. But airflow is not, because if there's dust, the air cannot flow. Oh, I had these on there because they help straighten out your prongs. Look at that, they're already way more straight. Yeah, this one's got the better quality stretch hose. Pretty much an extension wand on there already. The Lightspeed does have better wheels. This has some of the worst wheels ever. This one's a little louder as well. So yeah, put my braces back on. I always keep these little brace, like prong protectors that come with new vacuums for packaging. And I usually just keep them for my own vacuums, but another thing that you guys should consider if you buy a new vacuum, why not keep these for when you ship a vacuum, you know? This is going to you until Inteltech Studios. You're like the only other person I watch that actually sells vacuums. You know, there's only one vacuum I would consider selling, and it's my Shark Navigator Professional. Because it's probably my least favorite Shark. The whole Navigator series just the standard Navigator series I do not like. I would love to have one of the older liftaways. That's about it though. And then also I wanted to try one of the older rotators. You know. But I did clean this thing up. I think I mentioned that in my last video. Yeah, got quite the vacuum collection. I think the next comparison I might do is the Hoover V2, Wind Tunnel V2 versus the Hoover Max Performance, because it's kind of like Maytag versus TTI pretty much. Or what Hoover did, what Hoovers were then in 2002 and 2020. Or we could do the V2 versus the Clean View, because they're both from 2002. Or we could also do Victory versus SmartVac. There's all kinds of comparisons we could do. But yeah. My new Heart battery showed up today. I got some new 4 amp hours. But luckily, my charger that I got with my set works with these. Oh, it's fully charged. Perfect. My 1.5 amp hour batteries don't have a little battery checker. Oh, yeah, let's put the music even louder. These ones do not have any sort of battery checker. These are what came with my set. I got a set for like 120 bucks with the Sawzall, the drill, the impact, a light, and a LED light, and this like inflator tool for bike tires and shit. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this one on the charger. This one is, oh no, this one's the fully charged one. They both came halfway charged. I'm assuming that's just how they do it from the factory. I don't know if I can actually keep the bigger batteries in my tray here. Oh, I can. That was one of them. I got this toolbox thing for 20 bucks. Red means checking, green means charging. And then solid green, that means charge. It's got like this adorable little bit or hardware holder. It's got wheels. They're actually pretty decent. The latches are super comfy to use. And there's little locking holes for each one. Pick the whole thing up. All of my tools are in there. I also bought an oscillator when I bought the batteries, so that's in there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more.